Welcome back to Spirit Squared. I'm Andrew Darrington, your host. Tonight we're at our second home here at True Vine Brewery here in Tyler, Texas. So glad to be here. Thank you so much, Tracy and Ryan, for letting us set them shop here and have our podcast. If you have a sponsor of ours, other sponsors we've got are Red and Contracting, Rex Consulting, Holler Package Store down in Gun Barrel City, Goosehead Insurance with Ray Plunkett, The Vault, the Humidor, Nortex, and we have Stanley's Barbecue. By the way, I brought you guys, before we get started, a Stanley Barbecue. You know who hooked me up on that.
That is
That's for your staff.
make sure the staff uses it.
Yes. We're starting out on the right foot, right? So, obviously, we know we're here at True Vine. We both picked the same year, which is awesome. Hey Bear is great. We got Andrea Wilson Lowball. Got it right?
Andrea.
Andrew. Oh, so sorry. Andrew.
Queen's practicing here.
Okay. Andrea Wilson Lowball. She's executive director of PAP. Look at that one.
We got that bird around here. Congrats.
Right. Andrea. This is going to be our joke this whole time. Andrea, you went to school here locally. Or you went to Tech. You went to school in Texas.
I did.
You went, before Pat, you went to Texas A&M, Stephen at Boston. You worked with the Salvation Army. And you helped assisted with Katrina and Ike and did some work in the Olympics. That's pretty awesome portfolio before you did to Pat. Talk to us a little bit about your time before Pat.
Sure. I grew up in Tyler. So, Tyler Burrell. Thank you, best. Little, my daddy worked at Pie Banker. And you're just part of the community. That off to College Station, went to school. Whoop! Maggie.
Right.
Came back to Tyler and started teaching in White House.
Okay.
I mean, I learned that through my experience with kiddos that I may not have been the greatest history teacher in the world because that's what I taught. I taught kids lots of different things. 8th grade kiddos. Nobody's listened to history London like their teacher. And so I made sure that they enjoyed my class because I had a fantastic history teacher when I was at TJC. And I wanted to instill that in some decks. So White House gave me the chance to do that.
Then you transitioned to?
I did. I went to CU in Boston during my con teaching. I went to SFA. I got my master's in education and became assistant principal at the junior high.
They're the Lumberjacks, right?
They are the lumberjack.
Okay.
Yep.
They don't make any noises like.
I don't know. I'm not as committed to them in the same way that I am to the Aggies. But I believe Marin and help it. So I came back and became assistant principal at the junior high 7th grade discipline. And imagine those 7th graders. We have a lot of kiddos onto White House junior high campus. And I was really drawn to those kids that fell through the cracks. So let's got in trouble. I went to everybody else gay up on. And so that was where I found my passion. So we did.
Gotcha. So then we link you to Salvation Army, right?
So then after my time at White House, I had children of my own. Stayed home with them for about 10 years. And once they were both in school full time, I realized that I wasn't Betty Crocker and I needed to do something else. So I went back in Storefield and I started volunteering Salvation Army and disaster response.
Okay.
I really liked helping people. I know that's something that's cliche, say all the time, but that's how we raised Mom out there. She instilled that in me, and so I started helping with disasters.
What was it about disasters specifically that you really like?
No, it was really just everybody get together up by tea, and it didn't matter what your political persuasion was, what the race was, where your background was. You were all coming together to make somebody else's life better.
Right.
And nothing else never except for that. So now.
But with disasters, I mean, you're seeing people right, that are just a person. All their stuff is well intentionally. Yeah, I mean, takes you down at the 4.
Hurricane White speak loud at the levels of playing field in New Orleans. And being able to step in and beat up Hot Taylor was just a beginning of developing a relationship with on it. Talked. I'm not there for that they now do what you can to make the date so good. So the Salvation Army provided me that opportunity to go to Galveston as tiny Burkina Heights. Before that, I've all took the Red Cross and you train it here at Tyler. And when we said at Shotter and at GT Cup, a lot of people that and came up to us. Yeah, that was the first one that they'd seen at TV. Just seeing an acted she at that. So, right, I really, just spent time at they do trade teacher, high show for there. It let the body, the people over there. So, medicine is like, oh. Yeah. And so, from that, one thing led to another, and but again, actually working at the Salvation Army as the director of social services, and that was really impactful because you're meeting people, they'll be there. So what can you do to provide some kindness to get folks who are just really bad situation? So that was really what was nice.
How did you end up in the Olympics for it being a supporter of?
Yeah, well, the Salvation Army provided mission sports during the Olympics in Vancouver. And I applied to go as part of their disaster response. And I was selected as the key volunteer from the state of Texas commission for me to go to Vancouver. And so I spent 2 weeks there feeding homeless people in Vancouver at the same time that we were working on mission to whipped up sewage city at the Olympics. So it's that through that experience in Vancouver, I came back to Tyler and began the Hope dinner that was using the Salvation Army's equipment and the meals that they cooked in their kitchen. And we took food out onto the streets and Humidor Tyler and fed about 400 beavers every Tuesday night. Oh, wow. So it was really just an arm into the community to let them know that somebody cares about. Food open to the left door. So, if you want people to start talking to you, just feed them in their bill. And I did that specifically to share them again the other opportunities that the Salvation Army could help with once they came back there. So that was really effective to an outreach.
Yeah, was it a tough decision or a tough transition leaving Salvation Army to that, or what?
Really a natural progression to me. There was I be more impactful that how in a different avenue and afraid for a change. And so coming over to an organization like CAP, that is a locally founded, kind-funded nonprofit that really got started. So I was still here in high school, a freshman at TJC, near and dear to my family. My mom was a volunteer task way back as a beginning.
Yeah, right at activity dates. You were doing Ace.
Yeah, well, we are celebrating our 40th anniversary this year, so that's right off. But I can remember Mom talking about that, and we weren't one of those families where we've got our aim on the psyche building or anything like that. But it's just you just help people. That's what you did. Whether somebody's sick at church, you tip them a meal, or you donated the coat to Coats for Vids. It was just part of our DNA. We're part of what you do. So my mom instilled that in me. And, I've told the story a couple of times, but it's really so true. My dad worked in Houston and roll of gas. And he would come home on the weekends. Well, I was still at home, but my sisters were already gone. I was going to TJC. And, they had the not his family, where Daddy would balance the checkbook and Mom would take care of the drawers, right? And so I heard Daddy say, Alma, by the cars. Where were you write all these checks to? Well, apparently what my mother was doing, she worked at the reception at Doe Tap. And if Pat didn't have money or something, if she would just write a check, what if the need was? Well, my daddy put his thoughts that he let her know that we make a monthly donation to Daddy. And so I say that Daddy was graced along with gas, hopefully on somewhere.
Right. Pretty cool. Good work. So what kind of, we'll get into what CAP does, but you sent me over a mission scape
or kind of like what you guys are dedicated to do. Talk just a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, PAP works to Ristico for bandits and a paladin to thrive. Whatever success this, everybody comes in the different place. So our overall goal is key.
Make you grateful. How are you? Seated to the
Well, right. All right, so let's talk about what you do. One of my favorite things to do is transitional housing. And we'll get to some more, but that one will kind of get me because you have 45 properties local that where you're transitioning for off the street that want to have a roof overhead and setting them up
For success, many cases, it may be the first positive thing if they die. So Kyle, and talk to us a little bit about.
You know, we do have a lot of different programs at PAP.
you have another favorite point. That one's a favorite. That one touched me. Great part.
Our transitional housing program is the one that changes beers house. Folks come to us. They're not necessarily off the street. The education that we do by referrals folks at times with a Savage Birdie or college street team. But the majority of the people we cut it into our transitional house program are living paycheck to paycheck, fall behind every month, summit stepping. They had copes and they had trees that just don't know how you get there. Because fair market rent in Smith County is high, just like it is anywhere else. Say Texas, 1 bedroom, 1 bath, fair market rents plus 12 kickbobbies. And you know, when we'll start paying a living wage at Tyler, it's really hard for you to get at. And to maybe you're a single mom with a couple of kids. And you're kind of downcountling that you're trying to get ahead.
Or yourself is sick.
Yeah, I mean,
Can't work.
for lots of different things. And, you know, folks, they need affordable rent. And so we own those free properties. We lease those house families. They pay rent, pay the sunset, they sign a lease, they pay their bills, they follow the rescale ones just like anybody else says, but had them word of break. So we learned a long time ago that just providing so what the cook place way does not move them forward. It's changing their patterns and their patterns are. Is it want to be with a page that just don't over us to do? So decouple those of Whipple homes that skill trained case teachers walk side by side with these families to help them move to whatever success it is like to that family. It's not our job to tell them what success is. If success is deeper tempered for. They know what. They come in the same coach and reason what I think. They just need some enough it. You know, I've often said that, you know, these folks, the more I do this, the longer I do this, the more realize that I'm a child biker, pamper. They're the families who have much more so than different. They want safety and security and success for their children. They want to treat. Yeah. Just like I did. So we work S&F, and it's not easy work. You know, folks come in and they get really excited because they got cheap rents, but they can afford the average rent on our transitional months is about $5 month for a 2-bedroom, 2 apartment per day. And so we went in alongside them a help they are in financial resistance. Because once they move in and they breathe, they're no longer having to spend every week worried about how they take bills. What if so they get sick at the same up?
Right. Check your shitty loans to buy diapers.
You know, all the things, right? Yeah. And so we give them that space to breathe, but we come in very quickly and work with them to create a positive panicky stare. They told us what they want. And we do what we can help they get there. All we're here is providing secure buzz monster hardware. Yeah. They are learning the financial literacy skills that they did. They're working on rebuilding their credit. Working on saving really for a down payment for a house for Mercedes for an emergency.
Yeah, it's a down payment on our apartment nowadays. You got personalized rent, these deposits, and you have an animal or something like that. It's wow.
Yeah. And so there's so many things they are tugging.
When you're in East Texas, there's one name you have to know. Stanley's famous Pit Bar BQ in Tyler. Since 1960, Stanley's has been smoking up award-winning brisket, fall-off-the-bone ribs, and creative sandwiches like the legendary Mother Clucker. It's not just barbecue, it's an experience. Cold craft beer, over 90 whiskeys, and live music in a laid-back backyard vibe. Locals love it. Legends play here, and your taste buds will thank you. Come hungry, leave happy. Find them on Beckham Avenue or at stanleysfamous.com.
Hey, podcast listeners, are you in need of some top-notch libations to elevate your next gathering? Look no further than Hootin Holler Liquor Store in Gun Barrel City, your go-to liquor store for quality drinks. From smooth bourbons to crisp wines and everything in between, Hootin Holler has one of the largest and most diverse selections in East Texas. Planning a special occasion? Let our experts guide you to the perfect bottle. You'll receive excellent customer service not offered in the big box chains. Visit Hoot and Holler today and let the good times flow.
Vault Arms is your premier destination for all things firearms. Extensive selection of handguns, rifles, shotguns, and accessories. Knowledgeable staff to assist you in finding the perfect firearm to fit your needs. State-of-the-art gun range equipped with the latest technology for a safe and thrilling shooting experience. Take advantage of our professional shooting instruction and training programs suitable for all skill levels. Host your next group outing, corporate event, or bachelor party at our spacious and secure shooting facility. Committed to promoting responsible gun ownership and firearm safety. Fully licensed and compliant with all state and federal regulations.
That we've got some wonderful folks that work on their housing team, and they work tirelessly in that job isn't an 8 to 5 job Monday through Friday. The good market season crises happen between 8 and 5 later on Friday, up at 11 o'clock on Friday night, but it's Saturday night. You know, and so we know that go from point A to point B is not a straight line. There's going to be some curves, there are going to be some buttons. We want to be there to provide that support. You did a purpose. Everything's not exciting. You know, sure, they fill you that. But we have a lot of success. These families were freaking marketing for ourselves out of hope that they may or may not have created this. It's in everything else and what it's there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm often thought about, like, hey, you know, if there was a successful family, and what I mean by success is, you know, they're not their genetics. And the breadwinner, let's say, gets cancer or gets a tragic accident.
It's one heartbeat away from you're in the same position as these individuals.
And so it should be very easy for us to put ourselves in their place because we're a heartbeat away from it. And then all of a sudden now I've got a dramatic brain injury and my wife has to need a caregiver. And now it's, okay, no, you can't live in this house because the funds aren't there for it. And now you're in a party, or what doesn't work that hard.
That this is so many families there that has for rip, whether it's walking the first cigarette and just a care. And they're just like you said, we're all in medical non-air record beauty cats.
Yeah. All right. Talk to me about homeless prevention.
Homeless prevention is a program that we have. It's just a great name for rent and utility system.
Okay.
So basically, we get around 600 calls a month for folks who have been parentheses. And we're funding to be able to help pay this extra.
So 600, you can help 10 or 12. Is that mostly on rent or is that also on utilities?
That's strictly
a risk if guys. Yeah, but online, although, and this is super wild. And prep has great assisted to really give the up those
Targeted about who were able to help. And so all 600 are necessary. Oh, JK, are necessary. But I did unpick. Oh, so I'm not going to iterate that thing. So in order to be,
Yeah, so you were out, yo.
I did, it's on the first row, yeah. But in order to be eligible, you must have under law circumstances. Get up there right there. But I'm wacky that something unexpected that you've been declined for occurs that caused you to not be able to get in this route. So that's the loose guide. So what we had to do in the last couple of years as crit funding has decreased greatly. We had to prioritize the boys and the even more stringent about. So now we have the Bible that says you actually have to have an admission docket number from the county that said that you are going to probation. But and so it really funneled down those families that I'll keep that even at that error they actually assist about. Yeah, but close you're really burning it. Yeah, we hear those stories all the time. What bus eats up there, whether it's car accident or medical accident, or somebody was sick, kids are sick, I had to stay out of work and they used the all their PTO.
Whatever.
All kinds of things. So, hostility really close to the edge without the ability to have a safety certificate to be able to cover for rainy day. So, mentioned it the year. Oh, starting to payday one. Yeah, that's it. Spire. Sell it. Think it out. It's serving calls. Yeah, that. So, that's being issue. You know, they did what they had to do. But I can't say that I would be respecting here. I've not ever been at the situation where I had asked for assistance. Yeah, wrestle. I mean, even if it's something that I asked my assistant girl all the time if I'm cute to go find somebody younger than me. But I relate to that because I get so frustrated before I have to do it. Yeah. And I'm putting to imagine that's what dude did that. And so folks come to us for it, boys. Feel be frustrated that there they are, but this situation did. So being kind job is to need this and this and to people and that they're frustrated.
Yeah. It'd be tough.
It is kind of better. I know, but we got such a special free control. You had every single day to help us before within our mission and just be there to be that kind for the old smile. Somebody counts. Cup of coffee or a bottle of water and whatever it is I need.
All right, so let's talk about one of your favorite programs. Is still at past school.
A couple of years ago, we went to Chris's and asked that for Brand Burping How that I have for about 10 years now at the other Bosch. We're a housing provider paying to get at school district to direct rental assistance of funds to elementary age students, families, to keep them in school. So, let me back at Grumman and my experience as an educator. I know how important it is in that the last. So schools have mobility rates. What a mobility rate is that the students start the year in August, but they don't finish say campus in May. Well, Clarkson Elementary has 33% mobility rate. That is one of 3 students who start finish your school. So when Chris's gave us a free eye, say a fun as his program, harder the parts and we receive for basic at-risk families or mobility representative for BG. And we targeted ways specific to product-based efforts. That's, yeah. And so
way the program worked was that we made a contract adherence. Hey, we're gonna come in and subsidize your band for the entire school year. We started graduating it down. We started make 50% of rent, 3 months, 40% of the rent, that's 30%. Renee, started the first rate, that's 11 days is very to get. And in return for that, the parents gave us permission to put records for TIC, to put grade records for TIC. They agreed to meet with the case manager once or twice a month. Sorry, that was what happened as I wanted to.
Yeah. Maybe got that plenty to stop there.
Right. It's case set to his book.
So, and what we did is instead of having 35 transition 1,000 weeks, we acquired 11 more families that transition with that I've known the problem. Grace of it. You bet. And so what we learned for that very first year of those kiddos is that can and tax to the ability current rent assistance to and impact the education app. So we did not lose a single family the first year for mobility receipts, and that they all stayed there. All the kiddos stayed in prospective camps is the first grade targeted at residents, but that's right.
For sure.
And so what the heroes record back to us is more engagement to their kids at school was their they tended race increase they conducted for. And so it was a wonderful thing. So we went back to Christus, so proud of the success rate, but it wasn't enough time for us to really see it a change as great. They came to the state unique test scores. So we got money for second year. So we did that same cover for the kiddos. They carried that free and very east for their band for them for a year. And amazing things began to happen. But we later learned that a story about how they had it in February of this year. Saw this cute little Girl Scout. She's wearing her Girl Scout uniform, her glasses. She said, "Good news, right?" So of course, gotta buy that.
There you go.
You can't. Then you
notice?
So I'm not sure right now. I digress. Anyway, and so he's taking all the cookies, I'm paying for them, and I start chatting.
As for issues French, she said, "I'm a teacher, boss. Who do you?"
Said, "Really?" And she said, "Yeah." I said, "Will be knowing thing about I talked about the program," and she said no. And I wasn't surprised. She's a teacher, she might know about that. And so I told her about it. And she said, "No what? That makes a lot of sense to it." I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "On a second grade teacher course, we had the pilot after second teacher this year. We had more students from first grade to second grade, and we anticipated. And that gets me every time I say it, because I get goosebumps. I'm thinking, okay, God, you put me at this place, or I need a Girl Scout cookie to hear this story to give me the motivation I need to go and ask somebody for year 3. And then for year 4, because we want to be resolved."
How is their idea? I mean, it's like very, very great idea.
And how did the idea come up for fruition?
Well, I can't take credit, but I sold it from another Asian.
Oh, right.
Doing it out of Key Kinky, the Seattleism watch by guys. But I didn't have any money for it. It's expensive program. It's just
How'd you hear about it?
I read about it because I was a history teacher and I read all the time. And I was researching, how do you really keep this laws? And I came across it, stuck it in my pocket. I knew at some point I'd be able to pull it out. And then when I was sitting in a meeting with Christy talked about what their grant key focus areas were, and they said education and housing, and I was like, bam, yes, I got it right there. And media looked back to the race.
It's very full.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a very full thing. And, we now have a commit bill for year 3. So we're looking for year 4 and year 5. It costs about $45,000 just to pay for that rent heart stay program. But the changes that we see as a result of those kids.
You might just a bit good soup.
But even the kids who aren't part of this program, I mean, because you imagine if you're in a class of 20 kids, I can't do math very well by my full take, but if you lose 30% of turnover in that last year, my goodness gracious.
It could have been one of your friends. Could have been one of your friends, your best friend. Not there, because they had to go move in with grandmother who lives across the other side of town.
And so the parents think, oh, it's not that bad because now they're going to go to Woods or Grice or whatever the school or if that's you now. But what that's popped is that teacher has got another learning style of that child. And about 6 weeks in, child vanishes and the letter teacher, that's the sorrow that break your suffers from that. Yeah, so it's real.
The benefit,
I get it, side.
yeah,
The benefits everywhere. And the success rate on both of these programs is pretty high, right? Once you guys get involved with either subsidizing or providing this
affordable rent, the success rate is in the 80s.
Well, the success rate I think that you know be asked about is the Red Assistance program at their emergency services.
Okay.
But the success rate that I want you to know about is that through our transition house program, we have 25 families who got graduated to mammals, which means that they have one maturity and
What? 25.
Not being the
Now, this doesn't even, like, this part hasn't what to happen.
year.
Okay, so this 14 years. Okay.
But you know, there's a lot of work that has to be. Somebody comes in with your credits critical and maybe 10 credit or and all the work that has to be done there is
The Humidor is your online cigar retailing headquarters. Our experienced staff has spent years finding some of the best cigars from around the world to sell to our customers. If you're looking for an online cigar store that can help you find your next favorite smoke, welcome to the Humidor. We began the Humidor because of our deep appreciation of the finer things in life, a good conversation with friends, an aged whiskey, and, of course, a fine smoke. That's why, in addition to selling premium cigars online, we also operate a brick-and-mortar cigar lounge in Tyler, Texas. Our lounge is crafted to provide a classic ambience with modern sensibilities, and we've spent time ensuring that smokers and non-smokers have an enjoyable experience, whether they're there for a drink with friends or to enjoy the game.
If you are looking for a reputable builder with a proven track record and a client base to back it up, give Red Construction and Development LLC a call. Red Construction offers full design build services for new construction, custom homes, and remodeling with free site evaluations. They have an A+ rating with the BBB and are proud members of the Tyler Area Builders Association, Texas Association of Builders, National Association of Home Builders, and the Lindale Area Chamber of Commerce. Red Construction and Development LLC stands behind the exceptional quality of their work and have the expertise, the resources, and dedication to deliver the results you need on time and on budget. To learn more, give them a call at 903-630-8660 or visit them online at redconstructiondevelopment.com.
Are you looking to optimize your drilling rig operations and maximize productivity? Look no further. Rex Consulting is here to power your drilling. With over 20 years of industry experience, our expert team provides tailored solutions that drive efficiency, safety, and profitability. From site assessments to cutting-edge technology integration, Rex Consulting is your trusted partner for land-based and offshore oil and gas drilling solutions. Ready to take your rig to the next level? Contact Rex Consulting today and send your operations to the next level in operational performance. Contact Josh Simmons at 918-637-9181. Rex Consulting, level up.
And they could be living on family land. They just, who knows?
Yeah, everybody who comes into the program doesn't look it.
Yeah, they may have a particular place in mind that there's deals. I don't want to be out there. See, there's a problem with the air conditioning. Yeah.
You know, and so
Lots of success with that program. So, like,
All right, let's talk about some updated events. Where did I have some hay bear? You guys during these warmer months, you guys are spectacular about the band drive.
Box bands?
yeah, we do. You know, we our emergency services, which is what we call our downstairs area where people walk in and questions whether they be health background or utilities for any food. We also distribute box fans in the summer and light fittings. So right now, for fan rot, and we began distributing fans and have done it these 7 days now. And you have distributed almost 800 7 days.
7 days.
It's 7 days. So the whole stock of fans that we bought back in May in preparation for July and August, we had depleted. You probably have enough fans still in storage for 1 or 2 more days to distribute out. So we are seeking donations. Box stands for dollars that keep to buy box stands with.
Yeah. So, one of my employees today, I was kind of talking to her. She's a newer and she used to do home health. And I was, yes. I don't even know her that well. Like, we probably interact just 2 or 3 probably. And I was telling her today that I was doing a podcast. Oh, I did it. Yeah, I've got half the. She goes, you know what? Oh, one of the second or third to last clients that she had was a recipient of running bosses. So there's activity all in this way.
It really changes you in the house. Electricity was in rates hurt so really you'd be surprised I never hosted that or to train at racing.
Teacher, what it is to keep them full. And that is critical for their health, especially if you had already poster and one of those that are in and now. So if they're nude and air around as people, right?
Yep.
Certainly makes huge difference.
In my business, a lot of times the folks hard 5 days. During the winter, they'll 5 Qs. And during the summer, they'll live air conditioners. And there's a big gap between the pricing of the two. It's just, the weather unit, split it, that's a gear. And so a lot of times we'll see that our client, elderly client coming in, that they wanted to be either, that they can't afford there. And so they're willing to just whittle out it on the day, and I'm sure plays a huge role in the way they feel, day in day.
It's very like saving to upspear moving Randy. And we could do this without our amazing association sponsor Sandra along with the addicts. Is your books companies here. What are the Canadian do analysis? So we partnered that feels for that. Or you fit year in a row at the heat act part there, the Reeks comes, it advance to the shutty and talk about half that it is so much more than a fan or heel. It's about really making a connection with somebody who might not have any other visitors during the day
or the week.
Hey, you're checking on them. Couple eyes, they race chick. Stay right and let you know they hear up. That's so.
Yeah, for sure. Other than that, we got a luncheon.
We do. We have our public luncheon. The cool thing is it's our 40th anniversary. We are celebrating 40 years.
And gonna do the cake.
We're gonna be so wonderful. We bring upon our former executive directors, our former board members. It's just gonna be a big reunion. We're gonna have a great time. Hey, at the end of the day, it is a fundraiser to prepare for the next 40 years, so we can celebrate everybody, but also thinking ahead. What do we need to keep CAP here serving East Texas for 40 more years? That's our goal. That's you're looking for 40 monthly donors who want to increase that, and you would love for anybody to be a part of that. $40 a month for CAP 40th anniversary. I can't think of a better thing to do. That's a great gift.
Absolutely. And I need to realize this because you guys do coats for kids.
We do coats for kids. Annies will come in and they'll sign up with kids for coats with their sizes, but a boy coat or a girl coat. And then our community stacks up. We get lots of coats in. You get the distribution. At First Press, where families come in as they get to Sean to try on coats. It's one of the things that I remember when I was up. Our mom always made sure that she made a couple of boy coat. Little girl had 60 cap. Here it goes for kids.
So when my kids were growing up and I was looking for a way that I could teach them about helping others, like Mama taught me, I'd go and Jake would pick out a Coke and we would get to her. So we would pick out a Coke, they get to her, and we'd take it out to make sure that they had should have purples who didn't necessarily have a doughy. You know, being a classroom teacher, you can ask many of the teachers out there. You'll see a kiddo, he's got a cubby with a hoop on it. He hangs the coat up. Looks like it's been worn by 6 other people. And the name's been scratched out so he could write his name. But my hope is that this year, every child comes through HAP to get a code is able to be the first name that's written. So when they hang it up on the cubby guy, is their go.
Yeah, for sure. It's pretty cool. What is there? Is there anything new that's coming? Anything that you guys would maybe toss for Dell? Any ideas? I like the 40 for 40. I think it's a great idea. Is that you for this year?
That is new for this year. Really kicking that off. You know, we have folks that will do donations at the end of the year or just a donation here and there, but really setting it up so that we have that dependable stream of income. So important. I mean, I love to open failures, $500 unexpected check you can. But to get $40 a check, it helps us in ahead for things because we work in a business that there are so many things that are unexpected, but we know that people are going to come to our war. They're in the free and we're going to feed us. So we've got 130 to 150 families that walk through our war every single lesson that eat. And it takes a lot of volunteers to make that happen. It's a lot of money to be able to stock in ships. Our food eatery costs us about $50,000 every year to keep it stocked with healthy, nutritious people. So we want to make sure that your petite, this is winter began the year to go out the back for everyone else in church. She was feeding folks as she gathered a group of local leaders and pastors and said, we answered, she was 90 years old by the way. She said, boys, we can do better than this. And I often think of that and wonder and hope that this Santa will give proud for happiest day. Well, she thinks we did that.
Well, for sure. All right, you stole some of the numbers that we were going to do next, but hey, that's be expected from the executive. But you guys have been recognized by a couple different translations or announcements. Yeah, what would you call it?
Yeah, I mean, just really a stamp of approval for folks who look at our audit and they check out our books and our records. So 4-star charity navigator. We have all of those on our website. We need to be accredited, all the good things. We are a United Gray agency. And, we want to make sure that HAP is transparent, be clear what you do. We want to share that we're really good at what we do.
Yeah. You're located out front?
You are located in the coolest and it's fantastic. It used to be awesome. Oh, Philly only the January 1932 is awesome.
Wow. Yeah, that's very well on.
Yeah. 4-story building. It's great.
Yeah, that's very cool. All right, so we want this to be played over and over again. We want a lot of people to listen to it. We want the people that are listening to take action, right? So what are some things, couple things that we talked about was volunteering. So how could a listener get involved and volunteer?
Yeah, so it takes 64
ship volunteers every school week to operate our cities like you or it's going to be hats. They're open 8 to 6 Monday, Thursdays. At shifts are 8 to 1 for that. That's it. We can certainly accommodate different schedules. But that is.
These people are like their boxing food.
These are people who are greeting folks in the door, checking them in on the computer. They're actually sitting in a case manager's office to work with them. The intimator non-outbound transaction and have relationships. And so every single person becomes part or sits down one-on-one with Facebook. Maybe they stay for 5 minutes. Maybe they stay for an hour. You don't know. And so we need folks who can help be kind and treat folks with dignity and love that you care about. Because you have people come in, like all kinds of things, and you can't fix. but we can always he said prayer if they must do that. So we could just let them know every prayer about that. You know, when you ask about what does HAP do, it's different what sets up for. That's what it is. You know, there are yes now. There aren't other places where getting a transitional housing a big night or redis. But we're rest that people that can come in our door, go out and eat, get them a bottle of water, get restrooms. They say it's on the bunch of here's that they use jocks or whatever it is that they be doing. But more than any day, they can come in our brewers box. Because people are not, I mean, they just got volunteers to do that. So we need help. It comes from a volunteer. Maybe that's not their thing, but we have a big, we need people to stop. We need people to help others shop or carry out to the park. Hey, you may not have that kind of time that you can give on a weekly basis. So maybe you want to get involved in a one-off volunteer, like our Cuts for Kids. They cut distribution. If we are going to distribute 1,200 coats in November or East, the pans to help us organize those coats and get them out the door. So lots of different ways that you call it. Took it food drives in front of Walmarts all over the town about 4 times a year. Westbury collects 8, 9, 10,000 pounds of food, which immediately cuts off our bottom line. That's we don't have to buy the food. So happy to get volunteers to help us in those. There are lots of different ways that you can do it.
Yeah, sure. Next thing I've got for listeners is donate. So you have a website.
You do. And the easiest way to donate is one, make it easy. Is our website, HAP.org. And there you could donate. You could become a monthly donor. You can purchase tickets for our Happy Luncheon. Doing more of the Happy Brunch. Happy at you. So what last step on this? Do that. They're the best place to do it. Just pro us.
That helps. Or we'll make sure that we attach it to the podcast.
Yeah, we also have, our social, whether it's Facebook or Instagram, all kinds of things. So Eric, you want to see whatever you're doing on a daily basis, check it out.
That's right. The next one to me is the most intriguing. Is Host a Drive. Because I can picture like even like a business or like, for example, my business, we deal with the part of the population that it does from time to time struggle. And those tend to be the people that outreach the most and donate those and recognize the need and where they've been and stuff like that. So talk just a little bit about this, but Josh.
Sure, we have people come out all the time. We helped in the past, and then what did I thought they can help in that? Sure. So maybe that is, well, you work at a bank like Ultra, for example, and they set food boxes and accept diaper drivers for it, coat drives for whatever the misses. So we have schools that on those food drives. You love it when they know competitive food drives like they're doing this fall, which with Grace and Brook Hill. And it's going to culminate on the night in the football game with Grace and Brook Hill. So that'll be a lot. So that competition seems to get people to sign it. So we'll probably see then if you go in businesses where whether it's a box for food, a box for coats, a box for diapers, all different things throughout the community. I drive so you thought the sign for rail that help us, completely tip off the bottom line. So we don't have to sit on it, feeding ourselves, skip lots of money. So the rest of let us fly. Football season's a great time to use. It started last year, but you do it again this year with Anna and Texas coming back together as their rivalry. So we had both of those clubs who organized to drives all with the town. The end of that therapy. So even if your team doesn't win, it's year, but never know, they might last year. Catherine's and the family is these Texas again. Yeah. Because of the thing is that.
Yeah. And then the last one I had listed is follow and share. So get involved, follow the Pat, website and Facebook page, Instagram, right?
Yes, absolutely. We would love to introduce Pat to your circle of friends. The best way for you to do that is to share out our Facebook, like her posts, all that social media and stuff that
we're supposed to be. I'm not very good at some things, but it's a huge audience. So
We got folks that are posted videos of cool stuff all the time, so you'll share them out on this.
Okay. We're at the end. It's been fun. Cool. Is that, yeah, that's been fun. I always like to end podcasts with shout outs. Anybody who you want to recognize, whether it is spouse, mentor. I know your team, your awesome team came in here, wanted to kind of see the setup and kind of get an idea of now what things are going to look like. So we can tell they're extremely supportive. And I'm sure you all shout it out. I love that. I took the push. Oh.
It's so great to show up to work. And we have a morning meeting at half every morning. And it is a full great big show up. They could go lots of the places. All volunteers. They were there at 7:50 in the morning to say a prayer and get ready for a day. And so the volunteers that show up every day, my staff that doesn't watch a clock because their job does not end at top clock. I'm sorry, all day. The commitment level. We have intentionally built an organization and we have attracted people. It's not job look. They're helpers, go to their homes and their fame, their church and their neighborhood, and then they dumped for Holler, yeah. And so a shout out to all of them. I feel like my job is to provide them support because they're providing support for everybody through spaces. So, the folks who came before me, answering farm, see if they support right, but huge shoes that I have to build. No, I'm so grateful for the 40 years of foundation and that those early cat folks built that we are moving forward today. So, yeah, what a
Great book with that. Yeah, it's awesome. Yep, absolutely. Well, it's the Alvin. Yeah, it's been fun. I'm glad we were able to get connected with friend Heather. Sean behind her. I'll give her yeah. She's great and such a selfless leaver herself. She does a lot of great things and always excited, always smiling, like just a different person.
Heather is on her first year on our board and really active with one of our big other drugs, fundraisers, Mardi Gras, as size. So that's always a lot of fun. So be on the lookout for it. Early this year, February. So we're there, guys. Stanley's houses every year.
My folks live in New Orleans, so I've had my fill. Sure, but I will be a fall this year for sure. Yeah. All right. Thanks so much for being on this podcast. Really enjoyed it. Our next guest is a wedding planner, so we've got a little bit of everything. I'm gonna be learning about wedding planning, which is unique. But later this year we have some pretty cool. We have our first mayor that's coming on, which is going to be very interesting. We've got a couple company owners that are ready to do some fun stuff later in the year. So thanks so much for being up. We'll see you guys next time.